Alrighty, we're in the process this morning. We've put this D-cell wrap on the root end of the leading edge of the wing. Now, one thing that when you're doing this particular piece is you have this cover that goes to the top of the fuel tank, and in the leading edge and trailing edge, the hardware for the screws that's going to hold this cover on are nut plates that are riveted into this section, so right to the edge of the spar itself. So you are limited, you are forced to put this cover on and get it fit into where these nut plates are. Now on the outer edges, all we have is hardware sticking through there. Tinnerman nuts go in there, so there's some float, okay? So we went ahead and we fit this cover on first. Once you have it in place, it is going to have a large amount of factor in determining where this piece is going to fit. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of a lip there, but the rest of it is flush all the way around, which then helps in the alignment of this piece. So you want to start at your top and work your way around and fit this through. Now, if you look here, we've used this cinching strap all along this whole process to pull this piece in gently. And we had actually at one point 3 of these straps on, one on each end, one in the middle. You don't want to tighten it down too tight, but you want it tight enough, snug enough to pull that down and work your way down around and then up to the back. So then you lay your lines out. Now you want to be careful before you put this on. You trial fit all this, because you're going to have to cut and fit the flanges on the spar side to make it fit. They come as blanks. And mark your rib spacing. Now you have a very small, between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. We can see, if you can see that, where I'm off center a little bit. Okay, from that rib center line to get into that rib and put that PK screw in there. Okay, so you're going to start again at the top, work your way around. You've got this sheet put on. This sheet is going to get stripped and repainted and resealed. There's a rubber gasket. The lip of this actually lays on top of the rib. There is a joggle on that rib. It does not fit down inside that joggle. It lays on top. There is a rubber gasket. We'll have to peel that off and replace it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's crumbling. You know, it's been on there since the 1950s. So this will all be stripped, reprimered, repainted. Here's your fuel tank opening here. That'll have to be all cleaned up. And once you get that on, now we're working our way around. We've got the PK screws in the bottom. We got to boost some more, another one on in front of the spar. Then you come up behind the spar, and again, I don't know if you'll see this or not, but you see the flange in there. Let's see if I can get. We don't have the screws in it yet. The PKs get drilled in 2 of them in each part of the flange back here, all the way down. And when we're ready to cover, there will be felt on top of here. We will put a layer of felt. We'll put some 3M spray adhesive and lay that felt up there, and then your fabric will come right over that. And that's pretty much it for the D-cell installation on the leading edge of the wing here. Just walk down here and kind of take a second look at it. Now, when it comes to doing the landing lights, landing and taxi lights, the fabric, one thing that I have to do is I have to go in here. There's a bracket underneath there. This black material is a bracket, and there's some holes drilled in it. So I need to put a hole finder in there. These were pre-marked. Whoever started this project pre-marked it, but I don't know if it lines up right. So I'm going to put a hole finder in there, and I'm going to actually drill the center of the hole based on what the hole finder can give me in terms of location here, okay? Then on this side you have a, you can see down here there's an overlap, and Tinnerman nuts will go in here. Same with this, there'll be Tinnerman nuts in there. The question we're going to have here is down beneath here, you can see there's a gap between here and here. So do we bring the fabric and lap it up? Let's see if I can get a better shot. You can see the flat of this bracket. The fabric will have to glue to the bottom of that bracket and then bring it up over and lap it over the top, and then our Tinnerman nut would of course go in there, because the lens that goes over this landing taxi light, the frame with the lens in it, will fit over this area and close it up after the fabric is painted and everything. So our question is about the fabric underneath here. Obviously we want to bring that fabric up and lap it over here on this skin around in here. Do we also glue it to the bottom of this bracket and lap it over so it's glued on both sides? And I'll have to send a copy of this video to Doug and Dan and see what their thoughts are. And we'll go down here and just kind of walk our way along. We got this piece on here. A little bit of a process getting this fit. You want to take your time and be careful. And you notice that our overlap, the butt ends, the joggle, where this piece overlaps this piece. The end of this one is right about here underneath. So it overlaps out towards the tip. And that's all the way from the end down there. It overlaps going towards the tip. Now the reason we did that is that's the way the original aircraft was done, so we're going to assume that that's the way Piper did it. Since there is no maintenance manual for this thing, we're using the AC 4313, some drawings, and original fittings.